Have you ever wondered what it's like for people who don't escape a life of crime, drugs, and gangs? Ray Briceño can tell you his life was consumed by a gang and a life sentence in prison. It started all the way back in the 70s.
I was introduced to a lot of members of La Nuestra Familia.
Ray grew up near California and Union and came from an abusive home where a drunken father ruled with fear and controlled Ray's mom with violence.
We used to hear, with her getting beat up by him.
Like so many gang members, young Ray was looking for something from the gang that he wasn't getting at home.
When I started running with the guys in the neighborhood, it was for acceptance. I felt that, hey, I'm not getting it at home. Here, I'm gonna hang out and feel accepted. But what came with it was the price.
He spent much of his teens in and out of juvenile hall, but without a program like the one Stay Focused now runs at Crossroads, Ray soon graduated to adult prison.
In 1977, I picked up a robbery and went to prison for 4 years.
Ray didn't know it at the time, but those 4 years would determine the rest of his life. He became a soldier in the Nuestra Familia gang in the prison where he was being held, and soldiers follow orders.
I was 13 months to parole, to coming home, and being that I was a member of the prison gang, myself and another associate, we were ordered, this individual right here has to die, and we carried out the murder.
Ray was given a life sentence for the murder, but it also gave him more power within the gang. When he was transferred to San Quentin, he was put in charge of that facility's branch of the gang.
At San Quentin, I was given the responsibilities to run the Nuestra Familia at San Quentin.
During his time in prison, he was protected by the gang, but his family in East Bakersfield wasn't.
People out here or in prison felt that, with the individual we killed was a member of the Mexican Mafia.
So, if rival gangs couldn't get to Ray, they would get to his family. His brother Jimmy, who had no gang affiliation, was murdered at the corner of Union in California.
And the witnesses say that 1 or 2 people ran from another car behind him and ran up to his car and shot him in the face. And Jimmy was, I think he was about 19 or 20.
Ray still remembers the morning he was notified in prison that his brother had been killed.
If I was hurting this much, if I was sobbing, for the loss of my brother, I says, I can empathize for the first time.
Another one of Ray's brothers was shot by a rival gang and paralyzed.
I made a lot of enemies. Of the rival prison gangs, and so I believe in my heart that I brought the shooters home.
While at San Quentin, Ray had 200 to 300 gang members under him, and he was now in the position to order people to be killed. And that's when he realized he didn't want to live like that anymore.
I wasn't God, and I felt, I had no right to even though it was hypocritical, I had no right to order somebody's life taken. As a member of the gang, I had no hesitation.
Ray put his own life at risk and quit Nuestra Familia.
In November of '86, I made the decision, that's it.
At that point, he was just 9 years into a life sentence, and he knew he could be murdered at any moment for betraying the gang.
He's to be considered a traitor. He's committed treason, and now kill him on sight. So it was, and I knew that prior to making the decision that I was going to put a target on my back.
Ray found God and was moved to another prison for his own safety. There, he managed to survive the rest of his 36 years in prison.
Got out of prison October the 2nd of 2013.
Even though he is free, his life is in shreds from a lifetime in prison.
There's frustrations, being that I'm 63 and I can't find employment. I don't got a car.
Instead, Ray focuses on God, his family, and helping kids in danger of following the path that ruined his life.
just got to let go of that pride and that ego, thinking, you know, what I can do it my way. Well, you know, you're going to do it your way, you're going to sit in prison for 36 years.
He talks to the teens that stay focused in hopes of helping them make better choices than he did.
A friend isn't gonna put a gun in your hand and tell you to go and do a robbery or go and do some violence. That's not a friend. That's an associate. That's a homeboy. That's somebody who just wants to take you with him.
And he hopes they hear one simple message.
Change is possible. You know, it's got to come within. The change is possible. You know, you just gotta make that decision.